What's going on, YouTube? I have a couple updates for you. New rulings that have come out with XYZs are whenever cards read, if this card was sent from the field to the graveyard, such as Goblin Zombie or Sanguine or Gravekeeper's Recruiter, these cards will get their effect if they were XYZ materials. So if Utopia has 2 Goblin Zombies on it and it was Darkhold, you will get 2 Goblin Zombie searches. So this pretty much makes XYZs extremely good. And dumb. So what's going to happen in the new format after the ban list is after the ban list, if nothing gets, if Sanguine or Tour Guide don't get hit, I really don't think they're going to hit Tour Guide because they want to promote Exceeds, but if Sanguine does not get hit, almost every deck, every single deck, can run 3 Tour Guide, 1 Sanguine, because if they summon Tour Guide, get Sanguine, they can remove Sanguine with this guy, Leviathan Dragon, to make it a 2500 beater and get a Sanguine search. So, that being very dumb, I'm running Gadgets next format no matter what, because I really think Gadgets have tons of potential with XYZ, even without stupid Ultimate Offering or anything like that. But with me running Gadgets, I have to switch a few things up to counter this. So, I mean, I'm going to explain a few things with it, with the Gadgets. I mean, you have the standard 3 Reborn Tengu, which is running pretty much everything nowadays. And Tengu also gets his effect whenever he is removed from an XYZ monster. So, not if you stack Tengu, if you overlay, as they say, for a Exceed monster, okay? If Utopia uses his effect to get rid of it, you will then special summon another Tengu, not whenever it is originally overlaid to bring out an XYZ. So Tengu's obviously good with XYZs, but Tengu is good by himself. Then this card, Thunder King Ryo, needs to be played in 3s and Gadgets now with this new ruling. A lot of people are probably thinking, well, yeah, if you tribute Thunder King and they have Sanguine overlaid or Goblin Zombies overlaid, then they still get their search effect and you have to tribute Thunder King or he'll get run over. Yes, this is true, but you obviously don't do that. Thunder King Ryo is in this deck to stop the searches and, you know, to tribute off itself whenever they do Exceed Summon if they don't have a monster like that underneath it. So Thunder King is good for, say they first turn, say they go into Lavier Dragon instead of Leviathan. You can then Thunder King Smash and Ground, they don't get their search. Good. Or you can have Thunder King out first turn, they go into it, and say they go into Leviathan. They obviously can't pitch Sanguine yet because they wouldn't get the search, so they have to try and attack over Thunder King Ryo. And they can't, usually because in Gadgets you'll have either Compulse or Deprison or Bottomless set, one of them set. So that's why Thunder King needs to be played in 3s, in my opinion. Then you have, you know, the 6 Gadgets. I play 6, not 9, because I don't play Ultimate Offering. Even if I did play Ultimate Offering, I would still only play 6. I don't like Ultimate Offering, though. It seems very sacky and dumb, and very inconsistent, and people don't like inconsistency in the game. Fact rather, this card is essential to stop the turn 1 Tour Guide. It also stops other big Exceed decks that I think will be good depending on the ban list. Gladiator Beasts get very good with XYZ because Darius is a 1-card rank 4, and any 1-card rank 4 is good. Zombie Master, zombies will be really good with Pain Painter in the new ruling letting Goblin Zombie get his search after he is detached. So zombies will be up there. Plants, if they don't get hit too hard, will still be good. And Gladiator Beasts and Heroes. And Heroes is pretty much the only deck Effect Veiler is not good against. Effect Veiler can still hit Descendants and Gravekeeper Spies with Gravekeepers and things of that sort. So yeah, Effect Veiler's pretty necessary. Then you have the tech choices in Gores, Grand Mole, and Gale. Gores, that's a preference choice. There's times where I don't want Gores, there's times where I do. I set so many back rows. Grand Mole, again, just like Synchros, Grand Mole gets rid of the Exceeds, so with just summoning and attacking, and this is very useful whenever they don't have, they're not always going to have a card that allows them to, search when it's removed, so that's good. And then Gale. Gale can still get over Leviathan Dragon if it uses its effect. Gale's always good, and it's a tuner, so it gives you tuning options. The spells, you have 3 duality. This is pretty standard, keeps the deck very consistent, searches out your options. 2 MSTs, this will never be bad. Enemy Controller is the card I'm iffy on. Enemy Controller was a card that I used to stop synchro plays, but you really don't. I mean, you can take your opponent's monster and then XYZ with it, so Enemy Controller is still good, but I think it loses its power a little bit. I'll probably keep them in, though. The more I think about it, just being able to tribute off your floaters to take one of their monsters to stop plays or to go into an XYZ is pretty good. I play 2 Smashing Ground as of right now, but I might run 3. This card, whenever you draw it, it's never like, oh, I drew Smashing Ground, but it's never like, oh, yeah, I drew Smashing Ground. So, 2 right now is a pretty happy medium. I have to do a lot of testing after the new ban list comes out, though, because I have no idea what's going to be good. I have a, general idea of what I said there, but Pot of Avarice. This card is pretty good in here because if you XYZ and they like Torrential or Dark Hole, that's 3 cards in your grave already, so Pot of Avarice is usually always live, especially whenever you run in Tengus. Then you have the staples, Dark Hole, Book of Moon, and Monster Reborn. Traps. We have 2 Solemn Warning, pretty standard, although I think this card's going to get hit to 1. 2 Bottomless. With all the XYZs coming out, a lot of them, almost every single one that is playable is over 1500, so Bottomless probably won't be dead too much. Dimensional Prison, just more protection for your Thunder Kings and stuff like that. This next card, this card is so good. I don't know why people aren't playing it more, but it's Compulse. Just to get rid of any threat. If they XYZ and you Compulse with Thunder King on the field, they don't get their search and their monster's gone, and then all their stinking momentum's gone. Still gets rid of Synchros. A lot of people think Synchros are going to go away, but it's pretty dumb to think that. Yeah. Compulse, very good. And then you have Mirror Force, TT, Solemn Judgment, Royal Oppression. All are pretty standard in gadgets. More protection for Thunder King with Mirror Force, Torrential to blow away big pushes. Royal Oppression is pretty much a god in here, and then Solemn Judgment. And then the extra deck, I don't have like all the XYZs needed. But the main one is Utopia and Steelsworm Roach. Roach is going for about 80 to 100 right now, which is absolutely ridiculous. It's usually a 1 of in the extra. I don't know why it's that high. Probably just due to hype, but it'll eventually go down to 50. I'm thinking. I'm hoping. But gadgets probably only need to run, you know, they'll run 3 Utopia because they really don't go into synchros ever, because their one synchro is, one tuner is, Gale. Sorry. And, yeah, and then they'll probably run 1 Roach. If you have 2, go ahead and run it, but 1 Roach isn't bad because you can recycle it with Pot of Avarice. If I had 2, I'd run 2. But, yeah. One more card that I want to talk about, and I don't have it handy right now, is Mind Control. Mind Control is never dead this upcoming format due to XYZs. So, if you have a Grand Mole, you can Mind Control and go into Leviathan, or you can go into Lavier, or if they have a 4, you can go into anything, because gadgets are 4, Tengu's 4, Thunder King's 4. Yeah, just, that card's dirty. And even whenever you sign in your Cyber Dragons, you can Mind Control, their Cyber Dragons that are going into like a Chimera Tech or something, and go into Tyrus. So Mind Control needs to be played in every deck. I'm going to make some changes to this, and I'll post up a vid later. Alright guys, see you.